in Podcast Detroit, recording live. Prepare yourself for a hoppy drive. If you're chilling at home, pop that crowler and just kick back for the next 2 hours. It's the end of the week, so here's to the weekend. It's Better on Draft with Rob, Matt, Nick, and Ken.
And we are live, a late night show of Better on Draft, episode number 193. There we go. My name is Ken. We are live in studio. It is 10 o'clock at night. I just flew in from Missouri.
And boy, are your arms tired?
You mean Area 51?
No,
you were clapping some alien cheeks. We know that.
I did not go to Area 51 today.
I don't know if that's how it works,
I don't
Ken.
know.
Or Nick.
No, that's Ken. I'm Nick.
You can tell the difference by the hair.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you have more now this day, Ken.
Actually, if I
Like
can
right
get
here
in,
in the face.
if I can get in to the barber tomorrow, this is all gone.
Oh, wow.
We're dedication. We're doing it. We're going,
Wow.
for the full.
Are you
going
to do the whole the Mr. Clean?
Yes.
Wow.
Well, no, I'm not going to shave. Like, I'm going to keep a beard.
Yeah, but like everything from ears back is going to be.
Yep, gone.
Wow.
Gone to never be seen again until it grows back.
Never be. Okay, I was gonna say. Okay, so this is
It'll come back. We know.
This isn't like a permanent. This is just a test.
This
run?
is a test run. Yeah.
Okay.
This is the test run to see.
Did you run this past the girlfriend first?
I did, and she is for it.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
Rock on.
Do you have any head oils or anything like that to like keep it all smooth and?
I don't know. I don't think maybe I didn't do enough research for it. I'm getting a little nervous.
I think bald guys have like head things that non-bald guys don't because we have hair.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I made a stop on the way here because I literally got into studio about 9:56. Got us live at 10:01, so I'm proud about that. I know you called to answer, called to ask if you could help me, but I
I guess
didn't.
there's no nationwide
You and
shortage.
Get and Go, huh?
I was just like, let's just do it live. So I got myself a black cherry White Claw.
I drank a few of those last night.
They don't sell the singles Bon and Vives, so if I have the opportunity, I drink Bon and Vive instead of White Claw, 0 sugar.
Wow.
Okay.
So
Yeehaw.
this has, I mean, for the amount that I drink, obviously the sugar content counts because I put back 10 last night
Holy fuck.
or yesterday, I should say. I started drinking at like 5.
Okay. I mean,
Was this after work?
Area 51 is a hot place. You've got to stay hydrated.
It was pretty like a dry heat in Kansas City for sure. Like yesterday, just like walking around, like you could tell that Vegas heat, like it's hot. It's hot on the skin, but it's not muggy. So you're not
Doesn't stick.
Yeah, it doesn't stick. It's just
Like a dildo.
Right.
speaking of which, we have one of those here.
Yeah, we do. The third one. This is the Blonde Route 80 from Dildo Brewing.
And who's drinking that? What do you guys think? Of that?
Me and Ed are both drinking that. So.
Yeah.
You say it first.
There's nothing to write home about.
Yeah.
It's crisp. It's clean.
It's crushable.
Yeah. I think it's
Yeah.
what Untapped said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just reading the Untapped review as your own review.
Well, yeah.
Well, no.
It's
but-
probably. Well, I think it's easier to do that.
I know a few people who have literally like verbatim read reviews as if their own, and I'm like, come on. Like I know you literally just saw that on the most recent Untapped post as you went and checked it in.
So yeah, no, I mean it's a blonde. It's a blonde.
It's a novelty beer mostly. I mean, like a novelty dildo. So
It's a very yellow dildo.
It is a yellow dildo
in a black can. So
But it's like a pea colored dildo.
True to color, I guess.
Yeah.
This is getting weird already.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if these 10 o'clock shows are like.
Well,
our shtick.
did you guys start drinking before I got here?
Not like yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I went,
Not like
Offsite,
crazy.
offsite,
Just had a
yeah.
few.
I went
sips.
to Cadillac Straits, and then I went to Urban Rest,
Oh damn!
and now I'm here.
Wow, you've been jet setting around.
Well, I
the
mean, I'm
Tri-County area.
jet setting, Cadillac
Cadillac
riding.
Right.
Staying away from the DIY fest in Ferndale.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was one, but actually,
yeah.
so
Yeah.
the food truck at Urban Rest canceled today, and so the food truck sent in pizzas
Oh wow.
for free. Really?
Oh.
it's like have
to
pizza.
cover their ass.
Yeah, so I got
That
free
was
pizza.
That's kind of nice of them.
I know enough about food trucks to know the amount of wrong things that can happen to a cancellation of a food truck just because you're limited on staff, as well as limited, like, you're not only your kitchen can break down and your truck can break down.
Right.
So the amount of things that can happen, but that's awesome for them. I think that's definitely goodwill in the fan base that they might come back on purpose just for when they're ready. I
Well, it's a
think
food truck that's pretty known in the area. To be
okay.
honest. So I ran into a situation, and I don't know if I should just jump into it. There's a food truck that I frequent on my side of town. Whenever I see that it's at one of the breweries, I go there.
El Guapo Grill.
God, no.
No.
El Guapo was actually supposed to be at Urban Rest.
Oh, were they?
Shinto Supper Club. It's actually really good. They have
Shinto Supper Club.
they have Mediterranean nachos, which are
Wait a minute. Mediterranean nachos? How in the hell do you
Don't
do
knock
that?
until you try it.
pita chips,
Okay.
feta cheese
Okay.
with
Cheese of my people.
with like za'atar chicken, hummus,
Okay.
onions, tomatoes,
Really?
and tzatziki sauce on it. It's fucking delicious.
I mean, I would take garlic. That's my personal favorite, but whatever. Okay.
So,
All right.
question. So
I'm sold.
When I go to a restaurant, I typically tip. I stick to the 20% rounded up to the next dollar. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but do you have the same
For food trucks?
thoughts on food trucks?
Yes.
Because it's a one man, like, so Shinto, he's a good guy, but if he's going to charge me $12 for food and it's just him, I'm giving him all of the dollars. I'm giving him 100%.
Well,
I feel like tipping goes towards.
you pay the price for the food. I'm sure some of that's going to be covering the next batch of stuff that he needs to
Right,
get
there's a
through the
little
next day.
upcharge, right?
Yeah. And then how much is really left over after all of that?
Usually, if you're good, 75%.
Well,
Food costs should be 20 to 30%.
okay. Well,
Yeah, but
I
there's a lot more overhead when
Yeah.
you're dealing with the truck just because you got to pay for
gas.
Well, you usually got to pay for where you're going anyways.
Yes.
Well, I guess it, it also probably depends where too. I mean, you go to Detroit City FC matches. There's at least 5 or 6 different trucks there. I mean, I'm not sure if they pay. I don't know, but hypothetically speaking, we could assume.
My thought is
yes.
I'll tip about 20% plus when I sit down at a restaurant or a bar.
Okay.
Usually when I get takeout, it's $1 plus whatever rounds to the next dollar. So if it's like $10.59, I'll tip $1 or $1.31 to make it a flat
A
12.
flat dollar amount.
$1 to the next dollar.
Sure.
But I just feel like that's because the wait staff has to tip out the host, has to tip
Yeah.
out the cook.
Boss.
Yep.
But if it's just I'm physically paying the owner, he's figured out what it's going to cost him to run his business, and I'm giving him 100%, not just.
But is the owner going to take money out of what you pay him if he's the only one working on the truck, or is he just going to throw that immediately into what he uses to buy supplies?
If it's a
with?
1 or 2 person show, okay,
Yep.
all of the money collected is going to be pooled and
Yeah.
put in the same spot.
Yeah.
So it's not like
So if it was the
it goes-
owner, he's not going to take money out of it. I think. At least that's what I would think.
I mean, it depends on what kind of business.
That too. I mean, it's like, hey, maybe I need to get $20 for gas. Then
Right.
maybe he'll take it. I don't know.
I guess. I mean, am I the only? I just think that
I
truck,
I do 10% to the next dollar for takeout and food trucks. I do 20% for
Restaurants.
Restaurants.
What if you just get
So,
a beer and a growler or a growler? How do you do that?
usually I tip $1 on each.
Got it.
So when you go to a bar, one of the things that I do, and I think we've talked about this before in the past, go to a bar, you buy a drink at the bar, you're sitting there, you tip $1 per drink.
It depends on how
If I don't get
expensive-
food.
Yeah, it also depends on how expensive the drink is.
Or so if I get like
the
a
reason
like a
for
pint.
that is especially if you're at a bar and not necessarily sitting at the bar, you're sitting at a table or something like that.
Sure.
Usually that server has to tip out the bartender
Yeah.
a portion of their alcohol sales.
Right.
So if you're tipping $1 and they got to tip out 7 to 8% of their alcohol sales to you or to the bartender.
To the bartender.
That's definitely it doesn't leave much for the server.
Yeah,
who's,
so do you tip drink separate do you tip drinks separately as to how you would tip it versus food?
Honestly, since
I'd probably go 25% on that circumstance.
I
Especially if I stay longer. It's
well,
usually
I always factor into for a game or I'm staying like 20%. It might if I'm not drinking the whole time, maybe I got to drive, so I'm only drinking for like a period and a half or a half of football. I'll add on a few extra dollars for being a stayer, someone who's just staying, because I'm taking up a seat in that person's section. Obviously, that person's not leaving for the game. They're going to usually, they rarely cut. Staff in the middle of a game, like they're not going to cut
unless it's a Hurricanes
trade.
game, right? Where it's game's over by the halftime, anyways.
I know, especially tomorrow when they destroy what's that dumb MAC team they're playing tomorrow?
Akron?
Miami? No. It's in Michigan, like the center of Michigan.
Oh, Central?
Yeah.
Oh, he's trying to be funny.
That was good.
He's trying to be funny.
Thank you.
I was like,
Okay, well.
I was gonna guess Eastern, but
yeah. So you should always leave more money if you're staying longer. You're taking up a seat and you're not necessarily drinking on par with because again, you're taking up a seat of someone who would be eating and drinking.
Right.
I always do that for if I'm sitting at a coffee shop or like a Ram's Horn, like a 24-hour diner, and I'm setting up shop with like my computer, or back when I was studying in school and stuff, and I'm sitting in someone's section for hours. Like I would always add an extra $1 per like 15 minutes I was there.
You're generous. You're a little bit too generous. I think.
What's $4?
An hour?
Yeah.
Twice their salary or twice their hourly wage?
I mean, fair, but again, you're sitting there for an hour, whereas someone could have came in, sat down, easily ordered $20 worth of stuff, got a $4 tip, and walked away.
I would say
and if that was two people. If it's a family of four or something sitting down,
but
and they lose.
I think a good server might understand when you have a one person at a table versus a 4-person, and if there are multiple people, you're gonna get like. If there's a family of 4 and you and the same server has both tables, I think you're probably going to get a 20% of their time versus the family of 4 because they know that they're going to pay their bills with the family of 4 and not with you. They're going to come check on you probably every 15 minutes and say, hey, do you need anything else? Or they're going to come see if your glass is full and pour you water. But I think the time's going to be equitable to where it doesn't have to be. I don't know. I don't mean to be Scrooge. I guess this is what 10-15 does to us. So,
well, speaking of 10-15, and it means absolutely nothing. We're going to give away another $20 gift card tonight.
Okay.
What time?
I don't know yet. I haven't decided. It's probably going to be between the first and second segment. One of those two.
Do we have any people in the chat today?
We got a little over a dozen right now.
Okay.
Wow.
Hot damn.
Got some
They're storming better on draft.
yeah, some what night walkers? No.
Night walkers.
I don't know.
Night owls.
Night owls. That's better. Night walkers.
Night walkers is
Make
a
them sound like they're prostitutes or
Well,
something.
Yes.
Derogatory.
Well, them and their
Dildos.
dildos.
The dildo, yeah.
We introduced Matt. We introduced Nick. Ed, you're in studio with us. Welcome.
Hey.
you.
Glad you were able to come out.
Thank you.
I know it was a little last minute and a late show, but you got something from Draft Horse over there.
That's where I went drinking before here. I went to Draft Horse, and I picked up an Oktoberfest. So
Oh, yeehaw. All right. Man, we got the dildos, we got the Oktoberfest, and we got the no rules I cracked open.
The White Claw. Oh, you cracked
Yeah.
open?
Yeah. So it is my birthday today.
Woo.
So I'm not sure this is really
Nick's turning 39.
yeah, 39. Yep, 34.
Are you still being carded?
I still get carded.
That's what matters,
Believe
right?
it or not. So I'm not sure if this is really the special occasion beer, but wanted something big to celebrate. So.
Every beer is a special occasion
Yeah,
beer
so-
if you drink it on a special occasion.
Well, this is a special occasion, so it is this year's base variant.
Is it a celebration, bitches?
It's a celebration, bitches. Okay, that's my one Rick James.
Speaking of celebration beers, I joined a group on Facebook, and their question was, "What are your 3 favorite beers?" And I said, "Free, Cold, and Next," as my 3 favorite beers. With that in mind, Ed, you've been doing a lot of traveling.
I've been a traveling man.
It's been a while, so why don't you talk to us about some of the festivals that you've been to?
Sure.
buddy.
Last time I was on the show was July 4th or July 5th. It was
okay.
After the
Oktoberfest.
July time. But between then and now, it's been 4 beer fests.
Damn.
How's your liver?
It's good. It's good. I think it's good, but Who knows? But went to Summer Beer Fest in Ypsi, and that was a good time.
Yep. You went the
It was
Saturday.
Saturday.
Yep.
You guys were Friday.
Yeah, we were Friday. Yeah.
I
It
hit
was
up
me,
Saturday.
Yeah, me, Rob, and my wife,
Yeah.
Tara. We did
You
the
poured
Friday.
for Roke.
Yep.
And then I think Rob did a little Eastern Market.
Yeah, he was there for a little
And
bit.
I just walked around and had a great time. So
You got the easy part.
yeah, it was good. It was a good time. And after that, went over to Great Taste in Madison, Wisconsin. So
that was an out-of-state beer festival.
Yes.
Did they have unlimited drinks the second you walked in?
they did, and media got in 2 hours before everyone else.
Damn.
Yeah, media and volunteers.
So
got
what you're
in
saying is we're
2
going to the
hours.
Great Taste of the Midwest next year.
Oh yeah, I'm saying Better on Draft's got to raid that place. So
Oh,
yeah, so
man.
media got in 2 hours before everyone else with the volunteers, and I think there were 190 breweries there.
Wow.
In the Midwest area. So for all the states, about 20 Michigan breweries, and it was unlimited beer.
It's crazy because I think the Brewers Guild just announced today that 131 are going to be at the
Yeah,
Detroit.
but that's
Beer Fest.
Michigan only.
Michigan
Great Taste
only.
has all across the country. Do they have any foreign breweries in there?
No, it's just Great Taste of the Midwest.
Okay.
So your Great Lakes region.
And
Great
that's a
Lakes
pretty
region.
pretty decent amount of breweries between those
Yeah.
states for sure.
For sure.
Right on.
You got a little bit of a flack on
Flack
that.
on that one. Yep.
That one.
well, explain.
Yeah, so I think I got called a soccer mom who drinks beer. I think drinks beer was in quotes.
Soccer mom.
Yes, that was my favorite one.
Is it going to be a soccer player?
Yes, he is.
Anyway, I think it was because a lot of my selections were, I think I had 2 pumpkin selections, a few sweet stouts. There's one that was made with Oreo added to it at the end that was real sweet. So it was a lot more of those sweet ones, but then I had some, I think I had like one IPA, I think New England IPA. So it was more on the sweeter side, so people were giving me a little shit.
I was looking for it in the event reviews, but you made a list.
I did. I've been doing lists. They're a little easier to do.
So you've got Pumpkin Smasher from Big Muddy in Illinois, Double Spirit Foul from the Fair State Brewing Cooperative in Minneapolis, Crop Circle Wheat from Great Dane Pub, that's in Madison, Wisconsin, Delusion from Greenbush in Michigan, Orioa
yeah.
from Cedar Rapids, Iowa Brewing Company, Black Lily from the Livery in Michigan, Gimme S'more by Nebraska Brewing Company in Nebraska.
Wow. That should be outlawed.
Strawberry Rhubarb, which is definitely one of the best
Glarus.
beers. Yep,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
a New Glarus beer.
Okay.
Salted Caramel Pumpkin from O'Fallon Brewery in Maryland
Salted
Heights,
caramel
Missouri.
What?
And the Commuter from One Barrel Brewing in Madison, Wisconsin. So, you got called, put together by a soccer mom who likes to drink beer.
Drink beer, yeah.
And then somebody said most of those breweries in general are not great outside of, and then mentions 4 of the 6 breweries.
Right. So
Like,
So 2. I love how craft
2 out
beer
of 3 ain't
stouts-
bad. That's what Meatloaf says. So
so Great Taste of the Midwest. That's a one-day festival on a
one
Saturday.
day. Yep. One day fest on a Saturday.
Now, for those of you who are local in town and ever want to go, Coonan actually does a bus, and they rent out a full bus. They drink on the bus ride there, get a hotel.
To the full day, to the Taste of the Midwest?
Yeah, to
So
the
it's
Taste-
like a 10-hour
No,
trip.
6.
Is that a 6-hour?
Well, it's
It's
actually
6 hours to Chicago.
It's 8. It's 8 from
drive like a
Detroit to
grandma.
Madison because we drove back to Detroit
Okay.
from Madison. So it's
Well,
8.
yeah, but then you got to add a bus, and a
8
bus
straight.
always
right.
slower.
We
so
took straight. We
9
stopped for
hours.
like one
I guess
meal.
It's the same as
So
break.
they'll-
Same as Milwaukee,
it's
then?
done by the Coonan Brewers Home Brewers Guild. So everyone brings in usually their home brews,
Oh,
they just get.
jeez.
I've seen photos, and I was supposed to go
This is a bad time.
a couple years ago, but it was the day after the fermentation Ferndale week panel that I ran with Shannon Long.
Gotcha.
And I just did not have the capacity to go. Like, I was exhausted that week between work, life, and I also did the Quizzo beer trivia at One Eyed Betty's that week for Friday
Busy
or
man.
Ferndale Fermentation Week. So that was Great Taste. Where else did you go?
Went to Muskegon, Michigan for Burning Foot Beer Festival. It was actually 2 weeks later. And that one was, I mean, you can't beat Lake. It was right on Lake Michigan, right on, not literally on it, but on the beach, right? And you had a bunch of breweries there. I think it was around 60 or 70 few no shows, which was kind of a bummer. But otherwise, you had the big ones, and then you had a lot of small ones. A lot of the ones were from West Michigan, so it was cool to see those ones, and check those out. And then
How was the fest? I know there was wasn't Sponge there or
Sponge and Everclear.
Everclear
were the bands there that were closed out the night. So it was good. It was like you had your beer, you had your art, you had some local food, like a normal beer fest, and then you had a concert going on.
Was it loud or yeah?
Yeah. Like there was a few places where it was a lesser, you know what I mean? Like pretty much it was music all the time. There's a few corners, by the bathrooms and stuff like that where it was less loud because there was stuff in the way to block your way. But
yeah, we were trying to do a show live there, but they were blunt and said we'd love to have you, but it's going to be loud and we can't think of a place for you to really be on site and have it not be completely.
And I did think of a few. I was kind of like looking to try to figure out if it was a possibility. And there is a restaurant nearby. I don't know how the sound would pick up there, but maybe something we could look into coming years. I mean, it was their 5th year, so it's definitely their biggest with breweries, and then also their biggest with the music selection. I mean, normally Mustard Plug plays it, but
Mustard Plug.
I mean, they're Grand Rapids, ska bands. So
Yeah.
I was gonna say
hit
there you could see Mustard Plug 100 times in Michigan a year.
right.
You can see Sponge every Friday at the same spots. Too.
And then after that was UP Beer Fest.
And that was your first time going there?
It was my first time in the UP.
It was your first time in the
Wow.
UP?
Yes.
Did you get stuck behind the tractors?
No, we drove up on Friday after work. So I was driving around in the UP at night in the fog,
Oh,
which was a little scary.
Yeah.
And then the guy behind me had his brights on.
Oh.
And so I was like huddled down trying to avoid, the brights and trying to navigate in the fog and going over the bridge. But it was good. It was
that's the worst because there's no real place for you to pull over either.
Right. I had to kind of wait and
I'd almost at one point just go to a stop and put my hazards on and be like, just go around me.
right.
I would have just gone really slow, and then when he tried to pass me, speed up.
It's a little passive aggressive.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, very much.
It was
so.
like 2
I also
a.m.
think-
and
Yeah, there's you make wiser decisions if it's in the daylight maybe, but at night when it's you don't know if they're carrying.
Oh, they're carrying.
Right.
They're in the UP. Everyone carries.
it was
in
a
the UP.
Prius, so I don't know if they were carrying or not.
It's in the UP. Everyone carries in the UP.
But no,
Just what they're carrying.
it was probably I think 8, 9, 10 weeks, and then 4 beer festivals.
How was the weather for the UP Fest?
It was 60 degrees, and when I, was getting dressed in the morning, I was like, oh, it's gonna be 60, but I kind of walked outside, and it was good for my beer box hoodie, but it
buddy.
wasn't good for my Eastern Market Free Michigan beer T-shirt. So, kind of had to pick and choose. So
It was hoodie and shorts weather.
you were rocking the hoodie and the shorts and the flip flops.
I'm rocking half that attire right now.
Yeah, with your My Beer Box T-shirt.
I was gonna say that's pretty much Matt's get up in the
Yeah.
entire fall.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Actually, winter too.
Winter too, yeah.
Yeah, as long as
Yeah,
my
it was
feet
a
don't
good
get
time.
all snowy.
Ready for the hoodie weather.
Did you guys did you get a chance to try some UP beers that you've never had before, like breweries?
Yes. There was, I think it was in my list. I had one. I always mispronounce the name of it, though. It was the one out of Cedarville. Do you have it?
Yep, I'm bringing it up right now for you. So all of these, the lists are found at betterondraft.com. Your list for the festival, you had Noisy King by Albion Malleable Brewing Company, Pumpkin Spice Latte by Atwater Brewing.
So let me talk about that one really quick. So
What a bitch.
Jesus, soccer mom, right?
Yeah.
I like pumpkin spice
Of the bitch
beers.
variety?
I like those beers. But and it was it was the UP Fall Beer Fest. So when I think fall, I think pumpkins, And Atwater and 2 other people had pumpkin beers. Everyone else was shoving the Oktoberfests down your throat and the rest of their summer inventory that they hadn't sold yet.
Yeah.
So it was not a true fall beer fest. I guess that'd be my one criticism. But I had to that PSL beer is very good.
So you had Moon Over Mackinac by Les Chenoux
That's it.
Distillers in Cedarville. And then you also had Trenery Toast from Rockford Brewery and Black Rocks.
Correct. Is that 4? Was that 4? Or is there?
1, 2, 3. Oh, we had 80 Rose pomegranate from Jamex.
Jamex, yep.
And I had, from your neck of the woods, I had the habanero sour from Aberrant, which I was told, oh no, this isn't sour. And then literally I'm like eating grass to try to fucking blend out this dry habanero that's just scraping my palate.
I've tried
And
that.
Clark's just laughing at me.
There's definitely a few spicy beers that are just. It feels like you're just destroying your palate by drinking it. But I had the Ghost Pepper Dragon Tracks from Witch's Hat, and it didn't touch me at all. There was no heat in that beer. Yeah. And that is real. Like Dan, I told Dan, because this was the festival that all of us, you were not part of the team yet. So like me, Nick, Matt, Rob,
Was this my fall beer
Dan.
fest?
No, this was the summer one.
This is
where
not
we were all there with Dan
Yeah.
and Angela.
yeah.
This is the Facebook photo.
Yeah, the Facebook photo.
Yep.
And Dan said, "Try it. You're not going to be upset." And I go, "Dan, if this is spicy, I'm literally going to pour this beer on your head." And he goes, "I don't doubt you would, and you're going to like it." And sure enough, I actually liked it.
Sure
It
as
wasn't too
shit.
spicy. So,
That's awesome. But yeah, that's about it. That's what I've been up to. And then this past week, I wrote my review for Double Two Hearted, and I think for the most part, people agreed with me. Just kind of.
yeah, a lot of people were saying it was more akin to a hop slam, just
Without
like
the
a
honey.
what's that without the
Without the
honey?
honey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you got a nice picture, a nice pour. Obviously, it's not something that I want.
Right.
But yeah, a lot of people, and you also learned about Puerto Rico packaging.
I did. I still have to respond to Jane Doe on that one, and but yeah, apparently, if you distribute and sell in Puerto Rico, you have to put "Do Not Litter" on your bottle and on your boxes. Same thing with Founders. A few of my buddies have found that Founders Brewery, they also have Puerto Rico "Do Not Litter" all over their packaging too. So it's kind of raised a little like question mark of like, these people hating on Puerto Rico, or is this? It turns out it's a law, so you have to put it on your packaging.
Seems like it's against the Interstate Commerce Clause, but okay.
What's the Interstate Commerce Clause?
Puerto Rico's not a state, bro.
Yeah, well, it's between states. Territories are states, or
It's a
states are
territory, so it
States
has
and
different
territories.
laws.
It's a anyway,
It's a country we own,
it's a
ish.
territory we own.
Territory. It's not a state, though.
So, what was your favorite of the beer fests?
My favorite of the beer fests, probably Great Taste. Sorry,
Because you didn't have
Michigan.
codes. Because you didn't have tokens.
No tokens, no bullshit, no wristbands. 2 hours early for media.
Yeah, I can do so much damage in that 2 hours that
I'd
I
be
don't know.
done in that 2 hours.
Yeah, I'd be like, all right, guys, goodbye.
Well, just the Fall Beer Fest last year in Detroit, that first hour for media, we were trying to get all those Faygo beers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
Like
the
we were
busiest time.
hurrying because we knew that those were going to be the first ones to go. We were like scurrying.
I think that was probably the most fun that I've had at a beer fest. Was like having that mission to go just
That
try
1
it.
hour to get all
Yeah,
those
yeah.
Faygo
Yeah,
beers.
it
But that
felt
one,
like-
but you know, in that 1 hour you're running. You really can't really have the time to appreciate.
But I felt it was like a speed run on like Mario or something like
Yeah,
where
you
we had a
guys-
common goal.
You
To,
guys were doing that, and then I ran out before it, or right before everyone came in to try to get all the beers to take a photo for Founders.
Oh yeah,
okay.
yeah. Yep.
And I like ended, and everyone started walking in, and I gave away all the beers because I'm like, I ain't gonna drink these.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you know how many people attend Brewers Guild?
The Fall Fest.
Yeah,
I mean,
like
I
how
could
many-
probably pull the
I think
numbers.
it's like
on a day.
5,000.
Yeah, you're looking at probably like 3 to 4 on Friday night, or like 2 to 3 on Friday night, and like 4 to 5 on
Okay,
Saturday.
Because at the Great Taste one in Madison, they cap their beer tickets at 6,000. So when 1 o'clock hits, the gates, there's no like check-in system. They just open up and the people walk in. So it's 6,000 people walk in at.
so
when
it's
the gates
literally like a concert in the '80s. Like
Yeah,
people are camped
right.
out, and you get like the first person in is great, and you hope
And
you're
it's-
not 6,001.
Well, you wouldn't have a ticket. They only have 6,000 tickets.
But do they give you the tickets beforehand? Okay, so it's not like you show up and the first 6,000 are in.
Right.
Okay.
So
I thought you were like literally.
No,
like,
no, no, no.
It's like when it's at like
Oh man, I've been
right,
sitting in line.
rats.
It's like at 12:01 a.m. when the stores open on Black Friday.
Right.
You better your ass better be right at the front if you want to get
With
the
your
door-
running shoes
With your
on,
running
right.
shoes to get those doorbusters.
Right.
That's what it's like. The funny YouTube videos of people shopping on Black Friday.
And fighting over shit.
And, yeah,
But they weren't fighting in Madison, so
Oh, that's good.
it was pretty peaceful.
Well, they're probably
Stoned.
that, or they're just all hawked up on cheese.
yeah, they were actually really nice people.
No, they are. No, we went to Green Bay a couple years ago to my wife and I for
I was thinking about
the
doing
Lions
it
game.
in a couple of weeks.
Go to what, Green Bay?
Yeah, because it's still going to be temperate when the Lions
And you'll
play
get the
Lambeau.
colors, too.
Yep, there you go.
I don't give a fuck about the colors.
I mean, soccer mom here, you know? Gotta check out all this shit.
I mean, that's what my wife and I will be doing in a couple weeks, doing East Coast trip. So we're going to be seeing the colors. And,
Cool.
Hopefully, we'll find some beer for you guys while I'm out there.
Just
So
more dildos.
before we take a break, obviously we're going to be giving away a $20 gift card during the second segment. We had an interesting acquisition that got announced officially today.
Yes, yes.
So it was just a couple months ago. We were singing the sad song "Goodbyes" of Axel Brewing, and they are now back in the limelight a little bit as Eastern Market has bought them out,
they're leasing the building.
leasing the building.
Axel is retaining the real estate of the building.
I'm gonna say, I think they still own
Eastern
the
Market,
building.
yeah,
Yeah,
Eastern Market
Dan
is
owns the
leasing
building.
Yep.
the building and the equipment in the building and the production facility.
But there's gonna be those ties back to Axel with this recent.
I think it's really only going to be. I mean, they're not buying the recipes from.
Yeah, they said they weren't going to brew.
well, they're
Axel.
gonna. Yeah, they're not going to brew Axel beer.
Right.
It's literally just going to be Eastern Market North. I think they're going to call it 567 Livernois or the Ferndale Feel Good. I think is what they're going to call it.
The Ferndale Feel Good.
Yeah, I think there was a name for it.
I wonder if Steve Rogensen's going to be upset at that because obviously he probably owns the trademark to Feel,
Feel
Good.
Good tap.
Well,
the Feel Good
I might
tap.
have. I'm going to say I have the name wrong because I'm not good like that with words and talkings.
That's kind of your job here. On Better on Draft, we're an audio medium. Yes, we have cameras, but
I'm trying to see if I can find what they were calling, but it's going to have. So it's not going to be the Ferndale
Was this
tap
on
anymore.
DACB? Some
Nope.
people bullshitting,
It
or
was
was this
straight
real?
from.
Nope. We were aware prior to the announcement. I actually tried to get Dan Riley on tonight,
Oh yeah.
and I messaged him before, and then I'm like, well, and then the announcement came out, and he's just like, I'm like, well, now you know why I really wanted you on.
Ulterior motives.
A little bit. As Matt's looking that up, let's kind of circle back a little bit because we were talking a little bit earlier about the tipping situation. And one of the things that's coming out in Detroit is Magnet, which is a brand new restaurant and bar. And they are not going to allow tipping at the restaurant.
Yeah, I did read that.
So minimum wage for each employee is going to be $15 an hour.
So it's livable wage then, right?
Yeah.
More
Yeah,
so than
I mean
minimum.
that's if you're going full time, that's a $30K a year job at the lowest. So as a busser, you're making $15 an hour. As a host or hostess. The one downfall, obviously, is you've got state or city tax to pay.
Okay.
It's only 1%.
I mean,
Hey,
that's
another
1%.
that's another 1040 you gotta file.
But you know what? There's only been one other restaurant that does that, and that was Joe's Crab Shack.
B Nectar does it too.
Okay.
As a bar, not a
Yeah.
restaurant, but a bar.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, they do. And they put they do have a tip jar, but then it goes to a charity.
Yep, they have a tip jar that
That's
says
cool,
if you still
though.
want to.
I like that.
Yeah,
The menu says literally the tip is baked into the price. So if you look at their prices, they're a little pricier than your stand, even for a meadery. I mean, it's not on like Schramm's level, but if you were to compare them to like
$9 to $12 for a
Sellerman's or probably Recolt, you're looking at a little bit more expensive prices, but then you don't factor in the tip, and you're like, oh, well, this makes sense.
Right. Literally and
It's always weird when I go to do them at the end of the day. And
I don't know. I want more restaurants to be tip free.
Would you prefer to bake it like what B Nectar?
Oh
does?
yeah,
bake
add
it into the price of the food.
If you
and
add
drink and all that?
20% to every single menu price, I'm not gonna care because I don't have to worry about the tip at the end.
15 or 20%, or
Right.
just 20.
But I also don't tip poorly at any given time. Because I also, one of the big things that somebody always told me is, you ever have a bad day at work?
Yes.
Well, you can hide behind a cubicle or a computer or wherever you are.
Yeah, I know.
And
Yeah.
they can't. They can't. So they broke up with their girlfriend or their boyfriend, and they're still trying to do their job right in front of you and trying to be a serviceable person. So
Sounds like a mime.
Mime.
no
Speaking
matter
of mimes, did you find one yet?
We're
I sent you a bunch of
I know.
links.
Yeah, some of them were outrageously priced.
Well-
but I might have placed the wrong numbers in some of them, telling them I'm going to have them for 5,000 people.
So yeah, I would rather go to a restaurant that the money is baked into the price for the restaurant or for the employees, and I know they're getting paid a well wage.
I disagree because I feel like when I tip somebody, I feel like if I like them, I feel like that's me showing actual gratitude to them. Like I feel like, I know tip 20% standard, but I feel like I give like that 20, 25% that I give to somebody, I feel like that's me saying thank you. And I kind of feel like when I can't give them that thanks if they've done really well, that maybe lessens the experience.
So if they do a poor job, are you giving them less than 20?
No, but I feel like when we go to breweries, we don't tip 20%. Like the breweries I go to most often, I typically tip 35% just because it's all right. The beer was $6. Just give me a single back off my 10. Take 9. I mean, everyone's on a first name basis. I know this is your job. I want to help you out. You see me walk into the brewery, you grab my mug, you fill it with something before I even sit down. So your service is way above and beyond because you're going to get a good tip. So I feel like you almost lose part of the experience when there's no tipping involved.
So what do you tip your car repairman?
I don't because I expect him to. Well, I go to the dealership, so I know I'm already getting raped over. Because I do everything through the dealer because I get leases that.
I go through the dealer too, but I also get free rental cars because
true.
for a while I always needed a car. Like I could not have a car.
Right.
I guess I expect to be raped over the coals at a car shop.
So
Because they could be like, hey, it's your flux capacitor. You've been driving over 88 gigawatts. You have to have the whole transmission placed redone.
So if somebody comes and charges you $20 to mow your lawn, what do you tip them?
I guess I haven't had that done in a while, but beer.
What if he's 12?
I was gonna say
Tip him in beer.
I don't know which. I
Man,
mean,
I wish I
Now
mowed,
he's the cool kid at school.
I wish I mowed your lawn when I was 12.
Yeah, no kidding.
Damn.
no. What the reason I ask these questions is that there's plenty of service jobs in the country that we don't tip for, and we expect the same quality of service that we do of our servers and bartenders. And I feel like we have too many people in this country who hold the tip over the server or bartender or waitress's head. And I'm like, well, I'll leave a bad tip or anything, and for them to do a good job, don't you expect your car repairman to do a good job, or whoever else you pay money to do a job, whoever else you work with to do a job, your bank teller is a service person. They help you out. They open accounts. They get you checks. They talk to their manager
They
about
take my
refunding.
money out of my account.
They do not. The bank does.
Or the credit union.
Credit union
I guess,
too. I mean, what do you tip your banker? I mean, I was a banker.
I did ask her on a date, and she said no. So I could have tipped her a lot.
Subjectivity, man.
I could have tipped her a lot better.
Oh,
but
this is going down.
she said no.
Down a rabbit hole.
But I guess I think out of all of those jobs that you just mentioned, the wait staff is the only service provider that does it on the fly. That's doing it in real time. Like you could, if you need to have something changed in your car, you expect to drop the car off and pick it up in a day later, or whatever. The wait staff is the only one that does something and has to instantly react to your reaction and then fix it immediately. So I hold them in higher regard than a mechanic, I tip really well when I get my haircut at the shitty Super Clips or whatever it is.
Supercuts?
Yeah, Super Clips, Sporty Cuts, whatever the place
Hair
is.
Mechanics, Lady Jane's.
Yeah.
Lady Jane's. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I go to a barber downtown. So
I go to a stylist.
because look at all that stuff coming out of your shirt, man. You've got to get it styled. Yeah. You got a sweater under your T-shirt.
Yeah, it's a little warm in here.
I can tell. You're shedding.
Haven't gotten to my winter coat yet.
You and Boomer both, huh?
We're going to take a
We just had
quick
him
break.
through.
As always, our break music is brought to you by the Ferndale Set. This is Brother Son. We'll be right back.
I'm headed for the city, trouble in my mind. I'm way too young and pretty for things to be unkind. Time is all we have now, so let's make something while we can. I'm headed for the city to make me start again. Conversation now and then. Gotta go, gotta get it. Now make things go south, baby. Oh, 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 yeah. Oh, 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 oh. I'm headed for the city, see what I can unwind. Always gotta start it to bit make it in this life. Time is all we have now, so let's make something while we can. I'm headed for the city to make me start again. Conversation now and then. Gotta go, gotta get it. Down, make things go south, baby. Oh, 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 yeah. Oh, 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 These eyes ain't looking back home. No, I'm now by myself on this road.
And we are back, episode 193, Better on Draft
The Johann
podcast.
Franzen anniversary episode?
The Johann Franzen
Das
anniversary.
Mule.
Oh boy, this was a mistake drinking this fucking no rules.
There is no mistakes at the Better on Draft podcast. That is for sure.
Man, I'm starting to feel it already.
This is the second segment.
yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, we're in trouble here.
You're in trouble.
I'm in trouble.
Matt's getting out
Drink
the-
this damn beer with me, people.
So
But I already brought 6 other beers.
I don't care.
brought
I got a half
6
of
too.
pint left still here.
Matt wanted to. I don't know what we're doing here exactly. Why don't you
Game
explain
show?
it, Matt?
Or?
Yeah, so it's Oktoberfest beer season.
Tomorrow.
September.
Oh,
tomorrow.
boy.
So I reached out to Ashley at Holiday Market. Thank you, Ashley, for all of your help and patronage. And I had Ashley pick 6. Actually, he picked 12 of the best Oktoberfest beers.
12 of the best.
I have 6 of them here in front of me because I edited a little bit. So I have them numbered 1 through 6. Half of them are Michigan breweries, and then the other are not. So we're going to drink them, and just like last week with the New England IPA, we're going to rate them and figure out which one we think is the best. So Nick, it is your birthday. Would you like to pick between 1 and 6 to figure out which is the first beer we drink?
Let's do number 2.
Well, we know what that
Oh
one
yeah,
is.
we do.
Okay. Well, this one is Samuel Adams Oktoberfest,
Yes.
which most people consider the light beer of all Oktoberfest beers.
Quintessential Oktoberfest beer when you're thinking of Oktoberfest beers.
This is the beer that I think when people see it on the shelves, people run out to and say, "Hey, it's actually Oktoberfest season."
guys, it's October. It's time
So-
for Oktoberfest.
Is there a time that's too early for Oktoberfest beers?
August. July, correct. Which
June.
North Peak was the first one to come out this year,
Right, with Dauntless.
which fuck them.
Wow, tell us how you really feel.
I'm like really.
I mean, it's not your because I want to kind of talk about a certain conversation you had online.
me.
Yeah,
Oh,
you.
God.
Which
Which
one?
conversation? Yeah. Please enlighten me.
Matthew got to talk with a huge owner
I did.
of a brewery.
I did. Yeah.
Who was so emboldened to respond to you,
He was.
and that would be Big Boy Pants Larry Bell.
Yeah. Yeah, Larry Legend.
So
Really?
why don't you recap? Because obviously we were talking about the distribution situation that Eastern Market's trying to sign up for. Get everyone on board, which has distributors backing him, not the big ones, but M4, Oath. The main players are the craft beer within.
A Raver Imperial on that list?
I doubt it. Not gonna lie, I doubt it.
'Cause, I mean, those are the. I mean, Imperial sells for.
Yeah, but I don't know if like JPO. I only want to speak on those that I know, which is Rave and Oath. Who have
So, what do we
both-
think about this October?
Or not Rave and Oath, M4 and Oath. Excuse me.
Not as Oktoberfest. I was
You like
gonna
dog
think.
food?
Wow,
Wow, that's.
bold ass
Man,
statement.
this tastes just like a Marzen.
Well, I mean, it's
less than
Standard.
true style. So I saw that Lawrence had said something on one of the craft beer groups, and so I just put it to him. He said, he talked about how he had done so much for the craft beer community. Actually, I think it was part of the founders post, and someone said, I wonder why Bell's hasn't sold yet, and what has AB offered Bell's and all this stuff. So he came out of his shell. And he kind of ran the gamut, and I don't know if I still have it. But he basically kind of gave his 2 cents on selling and why he will or won't do what he is and isn't going to do. And I kind of just put it to him like, hey, man, you've just kind of gone on a giant tirade about – oh, here we go. Larry James Bell. Anheuser-Busch has reached out to me twice over the years. I never took a meeting with them. Miller Coors expressed interest. Lion Nathan wanted a meeting. Countless private equity firms have called and written. Bell's is my life. The bar has all things I have collected over the years. Selling it would break my heart. I live a very comfortable life and give a lot to charity. A pile of money is not what's going to make me happier at this point in my life. When I pass away, my children will own the company, and the future will be up to them. As far as the shareholders go, the bank had cut off our finance because they felt uncertain about them and our intentions. The bank loaned me $5 million. Shareholders who invest in the mid-'80s have been well paid off, saw a 25% increase per year on their money when they were bought out. I'm very proud of the wealth I created for them. So I just wrote, hey, if you've had so much success in brewing beer in the industry, why not let others have the same success you are and not remain in their way and hamper what they're trying to do? Most breweries are mom and pop shops where there's a small family that's trying to make a living for their kids and all that stuff. So how about you, you're the, gold standard in Michigan. You were one of the first ones. How about you blaze a new trail and open up the brewery business for, self-distro across the state? And he tagged me, and he replies, self-distribution is a complex issue. It's not just about new brewers. It's about small brewers who have already signed contracts, big international brewers who want tied houses, distributors, and other classy restaurants, bar owners, and my customers. It's about sound safety and taxing policy for the state. All of the above cohorts are talking about the issue. Please keep in mind, here comes the I've done this longer than you've been alive coming out. I was major part of the deal that gave the distributors gave up self-distributing for the right to have brew pubs, microbreweries in the state. I passed the tax rebate bill that a small brewer in the state benefit from. Whatever happens should be fair to all parties involved in the state of beer in the state of Michigan. And then, of course, there are all these Go Larrys that were then tagged him in there and then, are still probably picking out the pubes between their teeth. So I just think, and, we live in a capitalist society. Mm-hmm. I think he's doing what every good capitalist does. He sets the market. And then every time somebody tries to challenge him, he moves the goalpost to be closer to him to where he still complies, but nobody else can challenge him in said market. So it is what it is.
When we're talking about breweries that big and they are on another level in comparison to other breweries, sans Founders, they are the number one craft brewery in the state. And the amount of liquid that they produce gives them a lot of control. Excuse me, I don't have the numbers in front of me. But I would assume their numbers are one of those, like, combined 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know if they do half the beer in the state, but they sure do plenty. Like, but again, they're only tied to one house anyways, so this would probably benefit the other house. I mean, throughout the state, I should say. I doubt they're popping between Raven Imperial when both are available throughout the entire state. I'm pretty sure both are entire.
I don't know, but I'm sure they're just in one house the whole time. So, but hold on, let's roll back to the Sam Adams. Ken, out of 5, what do you give the Sam Adams Oktoberfest?
I give it a solid 3.5.
Nick,
I'm gonna go about a 2.5.
Benny, you and your Jets,
Who's Benny?
or Eddie? I'm sorry, I always call you Benny for some reason.
I don't know. I gave it a 3. I must split the
Okay.
difference.
So we have I gave it a 2.5 as well because I wasn't all that.
So I'm looking at it. Bell's in 2018, 192K. Second place was Shorts at 40.
Ooh.
Atwater at 22. Perrin at 17. So that makes us at 79.
That's what she said. Oh, damn.
Old Nation at 17, which makes us at 96.
Go 4.
Founders, do they even count Founders?
I didn't count Founders in this because they're not craft beer.
They're not craft.
They're really not craft now.
They're far.
Yeah, I mean they might easily double the entire industry
in Michigan.
In Michigan just by themselves.
Oh, look out! There's
So again, you would need solidarity between the entire
the whole
industry.
Yeah.
But what I think they would not be prepared for is the kind of money that some of these breweries have that could come back to. Because if you look at Perrin, who has the Canarchy backing,
right.
If this would help Perrin and Canarchy, but again, we're really just trying to help the. Like we have a phrase like the regional mid-market breweries within the state. So, it's not going to help really Perrin or Old Nation or Griffin Claw. It's going to stop a lot of red tape. Mm-hmm. Because what would be nicer if, even say Founders, if Founders could distro their beer to the Winter Beer Festival themselves.
Right.
Instead of going through a house.
Mm-hmm.
Or we have there's a brewery or like a festival in Detroit, and
There's no
if Atwater could drive the beer themselves
right.
to the actual festival,
Yeah.
Those are the kinds of things like there's a lot of red tape that they could get fixed, even not necessarily increasing the barrelage from over 1,000 as much as just fixing that stuff. So it's not going to help. Again, your, say, Sheboygan, but it's going to help probably something along the lines of, maybe Greenbush that has a little smaller of a footprint. You mean Roke Battle Creek?
Oh, is that the plan? That it's going to be a road?
They're gonna move it over. To
So
Battle
do
Creek.
we? Have they decided what they're
Marshall,
going to do
sorry.
with
Yeah.
like? Cause the other shoe dropped when the giant mortgage was.
Yeah,
was
so they
announced.
were
Was that known
I
to-
spoke to John Leone in like in between shows, obviously, and they are well aware of the liens and the
big
tax
fucking lien.
issues and all that stuff. So they are taking ownership of all those debts.
Oh wow, that's generous.
That is crazy.
So, but that's one thing we kind of saw is that Dark Horse died with the craft beer boom. Dark Horse is a legit casualty of the craft beer boom because if you look at Dark Horse and how many barrels they had, and they were still a pretty top in regards to barrelage. They're number 19, and that's after dropping 59%.
Yeah.
They were 19th in the state in barrelage. So obviously they still have, but when you're trying to match production, you can't have a facility of production for 12,000 barrels and only sell 4,600.
Right.
You just can't do that. So we got another.
We have another Oktoberfest.
Another
in front of us.
Oktoberfest. Woo!
I think
This is number 4.
this is number 4. I think this one has a little bit more flavor to it.
Yeah. A little bit more lingering taste.
Yeah, I agree.
Almost feel like there's a little bit of a rye note to it. Kind of a
Kind of the back of your
front-
throat, kind of.
Yeah.
more of a front mouth, kind of an abrasive feeling.
Yeah.
Eddie, what do you think? What's your number?
3.5.
Oh, you're moving on up in the world. Nikki?
We'll go 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna give that a 3 too.
Okay. So, and this one is
What's this one?
Michigan,
now it's
right?
a can. We know that much.
It's a Michigan one.
There it is. Rochester
Rochester
Mill.
Mills.
The Mills. I'm gonna be honest. That beer is much better on draft.
Weird.
I remember Matt and I went to the Oktoberfest a couple years ago.
we did.
And I was,
That was a long time
throwing
ago.
I
That
was
was a long-
throwing those back as if it was my job because it was so good.
That was 4 years ago.
Wow, that long ago?
That was 4 years ago.
I don't think so.
I can guarantee it was.
That's 2015.
Yes.
4 years ago.
Correct.
We didn't know
Because
each
of who
other.
I was dating. Yes, I was part-timing on the show back then.
We weren't alive in this show 4 years ago.
You
Yeah, the show started
I'm
in what,
positive.
October, November.
16 makes a lot more sense because of who I wasn't
3 years
dating.
ago.
Okay. Well,
It was 4 years ago in my mind.
dude, it's forever ago in my mind. For sure.
Today's that was 4
I was gonna say, remember when the government shut down this year? Because that was still this year.
Oh
It
yeah.
was, right?
Nick, what's your next number?
Let's go number 5.
Oh, I need all the glasses.
Here.
My glasses right here.
Oh, let's give me a new one.
As we try to be a little bit more greener with our glasses, we're still using some.
Actually, here, Matt. Here.
In comparison to the
Matt,
amount of
me
solo
up and
cups we
down.
used to use,
But-
that's for sure.
Yeah, there we go. Let's do
All right.
There we go.
Nick doing his part.
Yep. So we got another can here. And Matt's going to go pour it in here.
All right. As we continue, we've had a few people in the chat room talking. I think Brad Reisner joking is saying, I always tip my mechanic. He also liked the idea of the charity tip jar. Andrew Parr decided $1 per pint, 2 to 3 per flight. Brad Reisner, in regards to tipping, said $1 per pour. And he also said thank you because he was the one that won the gift card last week. It looks like we're a little slow in the chat room today. I think it's definitely because it's 11 o'clock on a Friday. So I am going to
Are we
make
not smooth talking?
I am going to make
This
the
is pillow
executive
talk.
decision
Pillow
that in 2 weeks when we're back with episode 194, I'm just going to do a $40 gift card. You know what, Scott? Fuck it, 50. Let's do a $50
Or we
gift
can do a
card.
20
50.
and a my beer box.
A 20 and a my beer box.
There we go.
There
That's
we
a
go.
$50 deal.
Damn.
A 20 to 1 and a my beer box to a second.
There you go. So we're going to give away a $20 gift card next week and a My Beer Box.
For
So if
October.
you're listening, we will be live at 7 p.m. as normal. And that is going to be on October the 4th because we're going to be gone next week.
We
Yeah.
are.
We are.
No,
the last
no.
Friday of the month.
Oh, I thought we booked a guest for next week.
To my knowledge, on the page that we have, we do not have a guest next week.
We
have a guest next week.
Yes, we discussed this last week when we tried to put the show together last week.
So we are still going to be doing the giveaway on the 4th, which is episode 195.
So what do we think about
No matter what the number episode is.
What do we think about number 5 here?
I don't know.
I like this more.
I do too.
I taste an
lighter.
extra sweetness,
I disagree.
almost like a gumball-y characteristic.
I don't get that. That'd be like a clover or a bubble gum. You getting that like a hef?
Yeah, I
Did you say like a clover or a bubble gum after denying him saying gumball?
he did?
Yeah.
I like this.
not a bubble
I'm gonna give this. I'm gonna give this. A
It's not.
4.
It's not like a winter green. It's more like double mint.
Winter fresh, baby. What do we think about number 5?
Can I change my first one to a 4?
You want to up Rochester Mills from 5?
No,
No,
first one, the Sam Adams.
no, you can't. That's kind of why you're locked in at this point.
All right, I want to give this one then a 3.49.
So this is slightly worse than Sam Adams,
Yeah,
but better than the Mills.
very.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Sorry,
Brick. No, he's not
not
listening.
sorry.
There's no CBD in that one.
No, I just don't like.
Nick.
I don't like it in the
I'm gonna
can.
give
I'm
this one a
sorry.
2.
Wow, a 2.
Wow.
I don't know.
4.
Just put a
4, yeah.
3.5 on me. Obviously, I'm sure you did.
I did 349.
He did. He wrote 349.
Now all the scores gonna be all skewed and weird.
We're gonna have like 0.5 to.
No, I just want
Did
to
you
like.
give it a 4 as well?
I gave it a 4. I thought this was the best one because it was lighter.
You thought it was like I don't think so.
I think it was
so.
lighter. I guess while I like the maltiness,
Sorry.
I don't like the caramel apple that's just like
You know-
trying to peel off my mouth.
You know, speaking of caramel apple, you know it finally got released in cans today.
I saw it
Did
finally
you
got
see it?
released,
The
yeah.
Watusi Moonshot.
Yeah, from Roke.
That was one of the beers we poured at Summer Beer Fest.
And it was
And
your top pick.
That was my top pick.
Yeah.
Yes, it was, and that was pretty popular there at Summer Beer Fest.
Are you done?
That caramel apple sour.
Nick, I'm gonna keep letting you pick. You have a 1, a 3, and a 6 left.
Let's stick with an odd number. Let's go number 1. Number 1.
Which one was the one we just had?
That was number 5.
From who?
Oh, we don't. Yeah, we don't
you
even
never
know.
said who it was from.
Who was number 5?
It is
Arbor Brewing October.
Arbor?
a little ABC.
Sorry, Arbor. Wasn't a fan.
Nick, can you finish yours like an adult or?
Yeah.
He's been drinking no rules, man.
At least he didn't
Yeah. Drinking fucking.
Short him.
I was gonna say call him a grown up.
All right, so this is number 1.
Number 1.
Number 1.
The
Two.
number 1.
2 is not a winner, and
TLC.
3 no one can remember.
Oh, no, it's TRL.
Number 1. We have another Oktoberfest beer.
Do you guys want me to break your heart about a story about TRL? Because I can break your heart about.
You
TRL.
can tell me that was all fake.
Tom-
I think we discussed this before.
Yeah, Tom Green was number 1. That is totally
Well, no, that was real.
Yeah, I know that was
the votes were real. The problem was that they pre-recorded a whole week's worth of episodes when he went number 1. So he had to come in and retire it so that it wouldn't do anything because they pre-recorded a whole week's worth of episodes like before they recorded even like live episodes because they
Oh my
they rarely
God.
went live.
So
So it wasn't really Total Request Live.
No, it was never Total Request Live.
Total Request later.
But when his video came out, like they started, voting for it, got to number 1. But again, like that was say a Friday he got to number 1, so they called him in to retire the video because that whole next week was pre-recorded for whatever reason.
You know what I miss? I miss making a music video.
That was fun. Or a pop-up video from VH1.
I miss
video?
making the music video more.
Or Say What Karaoke with Dave.
No, wasn't it Mark McGrath?
No, it was not.
Say
Mark.
what was
Dave. Something.
Holmes.
Dave Holmes. There you go.
He's a DJ on Sirius
A
XM.
VJ?
So is what's his name?
What do we
Mark
think?
McGrath.
Mark McGrath.
So what do we
On
think
90s
about
on 9.
Yep, 90s
number
on 9.
1?
I like this.
I like this one better than the other 3.
I think this is butt.
You think this is Butthole?
Really?
I'm not gonna give it a 2 or anything, but just like
I think this
3.
is not as good as Arbor, but I think it's pretty quality. I'd give this I'm gonna give this a 3.75.
I'm gonna give mine a 4.
I'm gonna give mine a 3.75 as well.
Benny, where's your
Ed.
what
Ed says
Ed.
3.
or Ed? God damn it! One of these days I'll know your name.
I don't know.
Nick, you've got 3, 6, and 9 left.
3, 6, 9.
Damn good
we were
time.
We'll do number 6. Wait. What was this one that we just had?
Oh no, I'm kidding there.
God.
Yeah, you
come
gotta,
on,
like,
come on, Matthew.
Just
Oh, it's Great
Great
Lakes.
little GLBC. When you look at him, just think, "Take me home tonight."
I wrote his name
Poor
on the.
Ed, man.
Aw.
I wrote
He
his
just
name.
died.
On the
Yeah.
Last week, a week ago.
Just last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so Nick, are we doing
Number.
number 3 or number 6?
What did I say?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking you.
Number
9.
6.
Or people call me Seth Rogen all the time too.
Rogen.
So
If you're the laugh, yeah.
Yeah,
We're
if I
doing
was-
3.
6.
Okay.
9.
Andrew Parr was
Nine.
talking about a show that was called "Where Are They Now," and they would track down members from a band to try to get them to do a reunion show.
I remember
And
where
I-
are they now?
I recall this remake thing, and I think the huge one that was like a series finale was "Flock of Seagulls."
Oh man.
Because there was like one guy who just hated everyone, and it was this huge thing to be able to get them to come back to do a song together.
Is that like behind the tunes?
Are you trying to do a beneath the tunes?
Oh, beneath, damn it.
on Much Music
Yeah, god damn
with
it. I'm not-
Robin Sparkles?
Yeah,
This one's got a big head.
the Beaver song.
Let's go to the mall.
All right, this one smells more. This smells more bready.
Yeah.
Ooh,
It's more smooth.
It is smoother.
more
It is
smooth. I need
smoother.
the head to die down for a second.
Yeah, I know.
That's what she said.
I don't know. Did she?
This is just kind of like medium everything.
I like this one.
Like nothing like stands out. Nothing like
Those in the chat. What's your guys' favorite Oktoberfest that you guys have? Because I'm definitely digging this one for sure. Watch, it's gonna be like Budweiser Oktoberfest.
they Michelob did make a Marzen at one point,
Did they really?
and I played beer pong with it when I was in college, and I really liked it. But then they stopped making it. I didn't understand what a Marzen
Where
was.
was
at
that
the
at?
time.
That one stupid school in the middle of the state.
Yeah, Central Michigan University.
Michigan.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah, they're playing against a better but not good football team tomorrow.
But do you know who our coach is?
Who's your coach?
Jim McElwain.
I thought you were gonna say Dan Lefevre.
No, the shark humper.
The shark humper.
Yeah, you don't remember the shark humping photo?
No.
We'll talk about that offline then. But he was the former coach of University of Florida, so he knows Dem Gators.
Do you
And I don't trust Manny Diaz to begin with.
do you pride yourself on the fact that Brian Kelly coached at Central?
No,
Okay.
but Antonio Brown, baby.
Oh.
All right. So what do we think about?
You need to cut it out.
What do you think about number 3 or number 6 rather?
I'm gonna go 3.5.
I'm gonna go a 4.5.
Wow. 3.25.
I'm just gonna call this a 2.75.
All right.
I just think it's
Yeah. It's warm.
Maybe I don't like the brewer.
Hey, so fun.
Oh,
Oh boy.
Is it
look at
bells?
that.
Yeah, it is.
I can tell.
Man, Ken.
Bells Oktoberfest.
So fun fact, me and AB share a birthday.
Oh, geez.
Really?
Oh god.
Are you the same
I am,
age, too?
I'm 2 years older than him.
Okay.
But he was born in Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
North
from
Miami.
your Dayu. He's from
I
down
was gonna say,
there.
did he go to Miami?
No, he
No,
went to
he's a
Central
Central.
Michigan.
Central.
Oh,
Come on,
Central.
listen.
It's because he couldn't play anywhere else.
Oh, he's not playing anywhere else anymore.
He might go back to Miami. He's got a year left. Eligibility.
But isn't it
All
once
right.
you play in the NFL, you can't?
Yeah. Once you hire an agent, yeah.
Last but not least.
All right. I think this. You know what? I'm not even gonna make a comment
Not gonna
about
make
this.
any
later.
Don't make. Yeah. Don't skew it.
So we got a bottle.
Oh. Ed, don't look at the label.
I'm.
Did you already see it?
I'm not gonna say anything though.
Okay.
Yeah, give me that one right there. And that last one.
Well, this is Ken's cup.
Oh, yeah, he's on keto. I forgot.
Oh, he.
Look at that! He didn't even have to say it this time. I said it.
So I hope you know that there is a place for Antonio Brown,
Where's that?
The Jaguars.
the XFL.
Oh,
Ooh, yeah. They love people like that.
hey Vince, sign him up. He's
Hey,
looking for a job.
I
Do you
mean-
realize that he has his own name? He has a new nickname for it.
No,
She hate me.
oh,
that was really good. I'm upset, but that's really good.
holy
Jesus. I don't know if they're doing that for the league. I know they announced the cities of the teams.
Those are the worst team names ever. The LA Wildcats. Come on.
Wasn't it like the old incarnation was like the San Francisco Demons?
Like it's just so like it's this time it's terrible teams and terrible names.
Well, it was terrible teams last
You
time
hate me.
too.
Rod
Tommy
Smart.
Maddox, man. Tommy
Yeah.
Maddox.
Tommy Maddox.
Tommy Maddox.
He almost he won a Super Bowl with the Steelers.
So here, the XFL in 2001, the teams were
The New York Hitmen.
the New York, New Jersey Hitmen, yep, the Orlando Rage, the Chicago Enforcers, the Birmingham Thunderbolts, yeah, that sounds exciting, the Las Vegas Outlaws, the LA Extreme, the Memphis Maniacs with an X,
I like that one.
and then the San Francisco Demons.
I like the Hitmen.
Hitman.
So what do you think about this Oktoberfest? Number
Did
3.
not have a sip yet. That's it.
$1 million game MVP. So the MVP of their Super Bowl was Jose Cortez, kicker for the Los Angeles Extreme.
For the $1 million game.
For the $1
Do
million
you know- do you
game.
know
Was
what-
was it like all kicking for the score?
I'd have to look up what the final was.
Yeah, I got it.
It's-
you know-
it was 38-6.
Did you remember? Did you watch the 30 for 30 on the XFL?
I did. It was pretty good.
I love the fact that the person that killed the XFL was Lorne Michaels.
Oh yeah.
Because it was J-Lo was supposed to be the host of SNL, and and NBC was
They got pushed.
they kept getting pushed. So
got
Lorne
it.
Michaels was like, this isn't going to happen again, and that's when it got shut off every day at 11:30. I think this is a good one. I think this is all around.
He
yeah.
had 4 field goals that game.
Wow, that's MVP if you've ever heard of one.
Oh wow! You know who played in the XFL? Who played for the Lions? Mike Furry. Remember him?
Mike Furr, he was a
Wasn't Grand Valley?
Wide
wide
No,
receiver,
I think
yeah.
he was a Grand Valley.
Or was that
guy.
David Kirkus?
Circus Kirkus.
Oh no, Mike Furry was Northern Iowa.
Northern Iowa.
But he was on the Rams.
Greg Poloni says Kunin Fest beer is one of his favorite Oktoberfest. Chrissy Reisner says hello from Lake City, so I'm assuming a relationship with our winner from last week's $20 gift card, Brad Reisner, who got a gift card to U Brew up in Traverse City.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
So let's get this last beer in before we take a break.
I'm gonna call this a 3.5. I think it's good, kind of a little bit better than just meh.
a little bitter on the end, but I like the up front. I'm gonna give this a 4.
Oh, Nick gives it a 4.
It's light.
Kenny?
Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
Ken.
2. Wow, this is your
5.
favorite.
First 5.
That's my favorite beer. Out of that entire group, that's my favorite
Eddie?
beer.
Fat 3.
Fat 3.
You're just a little pessimistic
That's probably
patty
the
over
best.
there.
So would you say that, Matt? That's probably the best one?
This one?
Yeah.
I think it's the most balanced one. I don't know if I would say it's the best
All
one.
right, so, but out of the 4 of us, did we rate that one probably the best?
That
I
was
love
number
as I look at
3.
the camera
Yeah, that
of
was
me
number
doing
3.
the 5 and I'm all over just blocky as shit. It looks so terrible.
It would be between this one and and number 1, to be honest.
So then
Actually, number
I
number
wanna know
4
who
also
made
got
this beer.
2 4s. Yeah, so
What did you say?
I said I want to know who makes this beer.
Oh, I know.
And
I already looked at the
we'll
label.
be right back with the Better on Drive podcast.
Oh my god. How dare you,
You are
first of
an ass.
all, not prepare me for that.
Mama, please don't make me go. Yeah, I don't wanna go so far from home. Yeah, it's got me riding that wave. I got my money where my mind is, and I like it that way. Ha!
And we are back, episode 193, Better on Draft podcast.
I do have results.
So that
Whoa,
final
wait.
beer, because obviously
Yeah.
you told me in suspense,
yeah.
and then you showed me
Da, 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 da!
Hacker Shore.
Sure.
The original Oktoberfest beer. So it kind of makes sense that it was the number one.
That was my favorite.
So
it?
with an aggregate average of 3.87, winner is Hacker Shore.
Right.
Coming in second place was number one, which was Great Lakes Brewing Company at 3.62. Number 6, which was fucking Bell's, at 3.5.
Someone's not
That's
bitter.
your boy.
Number 5, I think that was Arbor, one at got to 3.37. Number 4, which was Rochester Mills, was 3.1, and coming in last was Sam Adams Oktoberfest at 2.87. So this really did get all fucky, as they would say on the Trailer Park Boys.
Oh, fuck.
I never watched that show.
I didn't either, but I've seen the memes, and I like the word fucky. So
What's the one guy's name who has the glasses?
the guy who says fucky, I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
I'll just call him fucky. Here, you want more
All
bells?
right.
No,
As
what?
we're
No.
kind
gonna
of going
drink
through
it.
the beers and finishing everything up, as we got plenty of beers, the No Rules, the Dildo, all the Oktoberfests. I've got open can of White Claw in front of me.
Did
I'm
you
going to
open a
ask.
second one?
I did open a second one.
Nice.
I'm going to ask you guys a question. We're going to play a little Price is Right rules.
Wah, wah, wah.
So you can't go
Wah,
over.
wah.
Can't go over.
Okay.
We're just going to
Wah,
start
wah,
from the
wah.
right and kind of do
Wah,
a circle.
wah, wah. Tick down. Wah,
How
wah.
many in a study, what percentage, I should say, of beer drinkers have taken a beercation? The premise that they've gone on vacation for the sole purpose to take beer in that region,
I do that with
area.
my beer box frequently.
My beer box, what's that?
Well, I think if you go to mibeerbox.com and sign up, you can get some swag, whether it's T-shirts or
Pint glasses.
pint glasses, and of course they usually come with a beer at the brewery.
Stickers, coasters, and free beer coupons. This
Well,
month it
beer
was
paid for by someone else.
Fillmore 13 in Pontiac.
Fillmore 13 over in
Yeah.
Pontiac. I went there a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I went to go see Trey Crowder and the Well Read Comedy Tour.
Really good beer there. And then if you like their beer, you can go literally across the hall to X Fermentation. So, surprise, there's another brewery right the fuck there, and you can go there. Actually, Ben and I went there.
Ed, yeah.
Or Ed, fuck. One of these days I'm gonna remember
One
your
of
name.
these. Remember my name, please.
One of these days I'm gonna remember your name, Ed. I'm gonna write that on my hand.
Ed.
The police are gonna ask me, why did you write Ed on your hand?
ED.
Because I'm gonna tell them I had ED. We had a show in July.
Yep.
And Ed was gonna come, but we canceled the show last minute, so we actually met up in
We
Pontiac.
did. Yeah, we went drinking.
And we went to both X Fermentation and Fillmore 13, and we got this coffee stout that was fucking delicious.
That was good.
But it was
Kona. Kona
like
coffee
13%
stout.
alcohol. So I'm like, I got to take this to go.
I'm actually going to go in a couple weeks.
Check it out.
I'm going on October 8th because I'm going to go to the Crowfoot for a show.
Oh, nice.
Going to go get my little ska on
Oh.
and see some Less Than Jake and Bowling for Soup.
Nice. Oh, very good.
So make sure you go get the. I think the Augustus Gloop.
You know what I'm going to get? That Fillmore 13 has on draft now that didn't have when I
alt-
got
their
there.
alt beer?
They're fucking alt beer.
You love alt beer.
I love alt
You
beer,
do.
and their alt beer was solid. I had it at the World Expo beer, and that was a great beer.
And I got their double chocolate stout, the Augustus Gloop.
Augustus Gloop.
Yeah, the Augustus Gloop is another good beer. So, how many people, percentage-wise, have taken a beercation?
Starts with Nick, right? 'Cause
Starts
you
with
said
Nick.
Beercation, just
Percentage wise.
just beer.
Can I ask
Just
a
the
clarifying
the
question?
sole purpose is for beer.
Sole purposes for beer.
Like you, when you got engaged, you went on a beercation, but
Is
also
there an
Well,
age
there was other
range on
stuff
this one?
involved.
Yeah, but the whole point was you were planning a lot of your driving around what brewery was or
the
where
percentage of
breweries
people that
were.
do that. I can't imagine it being very
Today,
high.
Sally.
Shut up. I'll say
Today,
about-
Junior.
I'll say about 28%.
All right, Nick's is 28.
31.
Wow.
$1.
Whoa.
And the winner is
I think it's
Ed.
Hey!
So it is more than 31. I'm gonna give you guys another run at it though.
Oh, so that was the highest one.
The
Got
high,
it.
yeah. So it's higher than 31.
Higher than
There's still a
31?
whole another 69 percentage points out
what
there.
you said.
Nice.
39.
39. 32 is the current $1 bid.
Okay.
36.
40%.
All right, and so far the winner is Matt. We're gonna do it a third time.
It
nobody's
can't
gonna-
be higher
Wait,
than
can,
40%.
can you go back to my clarifying question? Is there an age range on these people?
And what's the website
Like
that's
millennials?
New York Post.
Okay.
Okay.
So it is. So can it just be me and Ed since we both won one?
All right, there. You and Ed. Go.
I'll about to do. We'll
We'll
finish
have
with
Nick
card sharks.
throw.
I'll give a number, and then he gives a higher, lower.
There you go.
73%.
Lower.
You went just a little too high on that. It's 70%.
Oh!
I thought I heard 70, and I was like, "Holy shit!"
Right.
Well, you win.
I was sandbagging the whole time.
Yep. The New York Post reports that more than 70% of beer drinkers say they've taken a beercation.
More than 70% though.
Of
See,
beer
haha, it could be
drinkers.
73%.
Of
I
beer
mean, that's
drinkers.
probably
You don't know my
70
life.
point something.
You don't know my life.
All right.
What's
We
next?
also have interesting. The Philadelphia Eagles are partnering with Goose Island.
Chicago and Philadelphia.
Yep.
Really?
For a custom beer named Fly PA.
Okay. It should be called like Doink Doink.
So this is from the Philly Voice. The Session IPA at 5.2% will be available at both Lincoln Financial Field and at Goose Island Brew House in Fishtown neighborhood. So there is a Goose Island in Philadelphia. There is one in Toronto too, if you guys didn't know. I learned that one when I walked by it. But a lot of Philly people are upset that they didn't partner with a local brewery. Now, we've had a few Detroit named beers.
We have.
I believe Griffin Claw had one.
They have a
at one-
bunch of them.
Do they have
do.
a bunch
They
of
got
them?
a good-
Clubhouse. They have Mr. Blue Sky.
Mr. Blue Sky.
Mr. Blue Sky.
Deer Downey's got a bunch of them. Mr. IPA.
IPA.
Yep, that's
Um,
harken
model
to
APA. Model APA.
Oh, I like that one. That's good.
Um,
There's the Purple Gang pills out of
Yeah.
Atwater.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're, if we're talking just pure Detroit itself, but what would happen if like we had Great Lakes Brewing, which is in Ohio, make like a Detroit Red Wings ale?
well, Dragon Meat has a Red Wing Raspberry,
Yep,
which is super good.
that's not.
Griffin Claw with
I mean,
grinding.
how would you think about that though? If like Great Lakes Brewing was the one that did the.
Cleveland. Are you fucking kidding me?
Well, they don't have a hockey team. They don't really have.
Yeah, but they cheer for Columbus,
Columbus,
or
Ohio.
the Pens.
I don't
Or
think they
no,
have
Flyers,
hygiene.
I guess it would be. No, Pens is
Yeah,
the,
Pens.
the-
Penguins.
They don't really have hygiene in Ohio to begin with.
Right. It's Cleveland's a mistake on the lake. So
I mean, how do you turn a lake?
A
I mean, they
mistake?
burned a
Oh,
lake. There was a
wow.
lake. The lake was on fire.
yeah, you don't know about the mistake on the lake.
I guess I do now.
Hey, we didn't start the fire.
No, we didn't.
start the
I wouldn't. I would be
Stick to karaoke, Nick.
Yeah, I know.
disappointed that it was an Ohio beer, like that they couldn't be more original. But I probably wouldn't. I don't pay attention to Great Lakes Brewing to begin with, so it wouldn't really. I mean, they have Ed Fitzgerald, don't they?
Yeah, Edmund
They
Fitzgerald.
they
Yep.
do have the Ed
Which
Fitz.
was a wreck in Lake Superior.
Right, but it
So-
was the Edmund Fitzgerald was their port was Cleveland, so they were going back to Cleveland,
But it still happened in Michigan.
the Great Lakes.
So
It's not Michigan.
they actually have a papermaker Pilsner that they used to have.
Really?
Way back in the day. That was one of the first beers that I drank that was really good. So
Elliot Ness was one of my first beers I had. from
I
Great
I
Lakes, so-
sadly can't drink at their brewery anymore because
did they
they're
kick you out like Steiny's did?
no. No. God damn it. I forgot all. I mentally blocked that bar.
It doesn't exist anymore if that makes any sense.
Really?
Yeah, I drove past it. a
Do you
couple
real
weeks
estate
ago.
on it?
Oh my God. I got to make calls after the
There's no
show.
Steiny's.
And be like, I don't care if it's midnight. You need to know.
That's true.
You want to know for sure.
Uh,
Dave Coulier moved back to St. Clair Shores.
Yeah, so they're because they're a customer of my my point of sale. I don't drink at any of those facilities, but that whole area, that Market Garden area, is a really nice little beer area.
You been to
for-
Market Garden?
Yeah, I was the one time I went to Market Garden. I will always remember just because it was Johnny Manziel's first game.
Okay, yeah.
And I
10 for
remember
22 for 140
the
yards.
hype of Cleveland being so excited and just quarter after quarter the defeat showing over them and just I
I had a buddy who used to work at Market Garden. So.
I don't remember the name of the bar and I feel kind of bad, but I called them ahead because they were a Cleveland bar. And I'm like, hey, we're going to be there at 4:00. The Lions are playing Minnesota. Could we have a TV for that game? Because they'll play other games too. And they said, sure, no problem. We showed up. We got a table. I mentioned to the manager. The manager knew who I was in regards to the fact that I called ahead. No, that was, I think that was pre-better on draft. And they put on the Lions game for us, which was very nice because we were there for a wrestling show.
And we lost?
I mean, we played Minnesota. I don't remember if we won or lost.
We've been 50-50 with Minnesota.
Yeah, that's kind of a.
I could
toss-up.
probably look up the exact game. I just remember Minnesota was the
year was
opponent.
it?
Oh God, I'd have to look up whatever wrestling pay-per-view
Yeah,
I went to go
it's
see
not
at that
worth it.
time.
Waste of time. And it's pre-better on draft, so you're talking, who knows when.
13, 14 or something.
All right, going back. Do you guys have like a? We talk about pop culture a lot on this show. I think it just gets brought up naturally. Matt, you talked about How I Met Your Mother just not too long ago.
Yeah.
We've talked about Breaking Bad and one of those breweries getting sued for using like the Breaking Bad logos for their beers. What would be a show that you watch that you would love to just have a beer of? Like that you saw a beer based on that show and you're like, oh my God, I have to have it.
Jersey Shore.
Like Amos Famous
What's Amos Famous?
from How I Met Your Mother. That was the beer that they always drink at
Oh
Clarence.
no, I'm not like a fake beer that turns real, like
Not-
buzzed.
No Duff.
No Duff or Buzzed from the
Buzzed,
Drew
yeah.
Carey Show. No, I'm talking like I was a huge fan of the show Lost. So like a Dharma Initiative beer, which
Oh,
is a
God.
huge storyline
Like
from
like
Lost.
like the label and everything.
Yeah, I would love that. That would be I would definitely go out
Didn't
and buy
they have
it.
that in the show? Like it was Dharma.
Yeah, there was
Like,
Dharma
it was
beer.
cans, but it had the Dharma Initiative logo on the can.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something
There
like
there
that.
there was like Dharma beer in there.
Yeah.
I wasn't necessarily referenced. Like it could be Lost and it could be any other reference from the show.
Right.
I would say for me it'd be like Michael Schofield beer from Prison Break. I don't know if you guys ever watched Prison Break on Fox.
Is that the one where he broke out of the prison? Okay.
And then he got back into prison, then broke out.
He got
of it
back
again.
into prison, broke out of that prison. And
He's like El Chapo.
met up with his
El
brother,
Chapo.
like his stepbrother, half removed or something like that, was on there too.
Did they break out of prison?
They did.
Okay.
I guess I would say there needs to be a Dunder Mifflin beer.
Oh yes, Office. Yes.
A Dunder Mifflin
Michael Scott.
Paper Company.
What was that?
A Michael Scotch Ale.
Oh, I like that.
Bam. or a Michael Scarn Golden Ale.
I tell you what, if you want to get people to drink a Scotch ale and you called it Michael Scotch Ale, you could probably get a bunch of people who would
you
never,
better
who
patent that
never
now
would
or
have
whatever.
tried.
Damn it. Did I give it away for free again?
Yeah.
I feel like a whore with that. Give away my beer names.
I mean, you could probably.
The Dundies, or was that the game show? Or the,
No, that was their award
their
ceremony.
award ceremony.
Call it the Michael Scar Golden Ale too, because that's when he made threat level midnight. I'm talking over your head because you can't finish the first season, which I get it.
I
It's
saw the
hardest
first
one.
season and
You gotta
like
start-
part of the
We
second,
missed out
and it
on
just didn't
trivia.
look.
Aberrant.
No, I wasn't going to drive an hour and a half to win trivia. I'm sorry.
Brad Reisner says a shameless beer, which would be on point for that, but it's got to be based on like Michael C. Hall, William
William
H.
H.
Macy.
Macy.
Trying to get his daughter into USC.
I see what you did there.
Wow.
She got
And
14
Becky?
days. What probation? No, 14 days.
Felicity
14 days
Huffman,
prison.
that guy.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
gonna
14 days in prison, and she gets to decide which prison and which days.
Wow.
Okay.
You know, I would have. You know, it'd be great if they
Pick
would
the
have.
one that Martha Stewart went in.
You can pick whatever prison you want and wherever you want, but it has to be the weeks leading up, the week before and into Christmas and New Year's.
I agree. Yep.
I'll at you, boy. So for Christmas and New Year's, you're in prison,
Yep.
I'm about to say the situation just got out of Otisville. So.
and he
I
looks
saw that,
puffy.
Yeah.
yeah, he's been.
He looks like Popeye.
Yeah, he's
what
ever
else
since
he
he
gonna do
stopped
in
with
there?
the I think after he went into a rehab, he started blowing up a little bit.
You know what's great is
But he's clean now.
I used to have to watch one of the Real Housewives.
Which one? Because there's about 5 of them.
The Jersey ones,
Okay.
the really
Real
bad-
Housewives of New
the
Jersey.
Guidos?
Yeah, sure.
and one of them got popped for
You guys
tax
watch this
evasion.
trash?
I don't. My wife watches all of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's
And-
New Jersey, New York, Potty Mills.
I was gonna say,
You
Potomac,
watch The Bachelor
Potomac.
too?
Atlanta, and
Bachelor.
She No, she doesn't watch that shit.
Okay.
Thank God.
but like the guy, Teresa and her husband both
Yeah, I
got
don't. Yeah, okay, sure.
yeah, and he was Italian, so he got deported after,
No shit.
which was humorous.
Yeah, those shows.
I mean,
they're on the TV, I
I'm
shake my
thankful
head.
enough. My girlfriend wants to watch things like Stranger Things.
Oh,
or
Stranger Things beer would be
Like,
cool.
that would be neat.
We watch that.
But it would have to be an NA. But that's what the trend now, right?
yeah.
Or it could be a Stranger Things Zima
Stranger Things Zima.
because it's like 80s, right?
Right.
Did Zima
was
exist in the
90s.
Yeah. Well,
So I guess Stranger
is
Things 4 Zima,
the
it's
third
gotta be-
season? Is the new season of Stranger Things? Was that
Well,
in the 90s or was that in the 80s? Still?
So it's all like it gets
all, like,
stuck
in
in
the
the 80s.
You know, we
but eventually
we,
they have to get out of the
Yeah.
80s.
we
don't they?
talk about Stranger Things, but somebody made a Stranger Things beer. Shorts made the Chief Hopper.
Oh, they did.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
right.
Which isn't that Chief Holla? Isn't that like my namesake?
Oh my god.
Isn't that too close to my?
I think I need to
Trademark?
meet you.
No, you don't have no trademark.
I think I need to file.
Yeah, you need to file the Michael Scotch ale before you.
No,
do
I
that.
have to sell it. Is what I
He has
have
to
do.
make it, so you need
know
to go to
what?
like
Hey, Evan
Jamex
Faringa.
or
Evan Faringa, if you're listening right now, the Michael Scotch ale.
Ale.
yeah, that's definitely the place to have it for sure.
The Michael Scotch ale.
I think you need to
And
go to Baffin tonight or tomorrow. Like
I was gonna go and close it down but you've kept us up like 2 hours past my bedtime, even on a Friday.
well, thank you
Even
because
on a Friday?
Dude, I'm an old man.
That's right. You tell me that all the time.
I'm 100.
I
100,
appreciate
you got,
that.
like the Benjamin Button going on.
Yeah, so I would do Dharma Initiative. Like I actually have Letterkenny beer. I have Puppers.
Would that be like the Dharma and Greg initiative though?
I see what you did there, and
Am I getting muted?
I'm gonna mute you for a minute. You're in timeout.
Rip.
No, you're in timeout,
You're
Matthew.
muted, man.
No, just go to the corner. I don't even want to hear.
I'm trying to
you.
think of other shows that like I watch that would like what. No, I don't watch that show. No, I don't.
No, you're still on mute. Just stop.
What about like reality TV? Like I know you mentioned
Jersey Shore.
Jersey Shore, but I'm talking about like this might be too much, but like the Food Network, like Chopped. You guys ever watch
Yeah.
Chopped before?
I know my mom and my sister do. They do watch
I know
Chopped.
my
Well, I'm like
B. Bobby Flay is good.
my girlfriend
Chef.
watches the chef line.
Chef
Chef
Line.
Line.
Yeah, it's this.
Is that new?
It's a competition. I think it's on Netflix. It's on one of the streaming channels. And basically, each week you have to. There's like 4 home cooks, and then these home cooks specialize in a specific style of cooking. So Italian, Turkish, Lebanese. You know these something.
Mediterranean, yeah.
And then they challenge a restaurant, and they start off with like the sous chef or the pastry chef, and they're gonna make this random thing, and then the sous chef, and then the line chef, and then the main chef, and you have to like go up, and based on like whoever the worst dish is gets eliminated.
Okay.
It sounds like Sugar Rush on Netflix. So it's
I
like a
mean-
baking comp, and you start off by doing something small like cupcakes or something like that, and then after everyone does their cupcakes, as as your time is continuously going, they start eliminating teams, and you could be like
Wow.
on your second
Really?
course, which could be like a small cake or something.
And they could just be like, "You're done."
Yeah, you're like, okay, you're done because everyone's done their cupcakes. You guys are the
GTFO.
worst. You guys are done, and you guys are halfway through making your.
I
cake.
I
Oh my
loved
God.
Master
It's
Chef
crazy.
Junior.
Oh,
Love
yeah?
that
Starts
show.
to
the kids?
Yeah, with the
I
kids.
can't watch those kid shows because I feel like they're
You
never
feel a failure?
hard enough on the kids because you can't be hard on a kid.
Well, yeah. Do you want to destroy a kid?
Yeah, do you
No,
want to
but
like
the
take
thing is,
them
like,
out of cooking?
If when
forever?
you're an adult, you should know better. When you're a kid and learning and still that talented,
So I used to be
Debatable.
I used to
Just gonna
be,
put it out there.
I used to be crazy hooked on Top Chef. Like I watched the first probably like 7 to 10 seasons of Top Chef,
7 to 10 is a big range.
and it made me want to like. I hate Padma Lakshmi because of it.
really,
I miss Katie Lee Joel. That's my. It's like the who was the other guy with Ryan Seacrest in season 1 of American Idol?
I don't know.
I don't
There was another guy.
Ruben
No.
Studdard.
No, he was the winner.
There was
Kelly
Randy
Clarkson?
Jackson?
There were two hosts, Ryan Seacrest and another guy.
Oh, so we're calling the winner.
anyways, Kelly
we're
Clarkson
Justin
was.
Guarini.
No, anyways, I would just hate how they would like accentuate the smallest flaws in a dish and say how terrible it was and how it should be like thrown off of a building.
Brian Dunkelman.
Yes,
The
Brian.
fuck is a Brian Dunkelman?
That's what I was about to
Brian
say, Ken.
Dunkelman.
You beat me to it.
But then for the kids, they're like, "Oh, your undercooked pasta is so good. It's so undercooked, but it's, just needs like
I
5
mean, come
to
on. If you
7 more
can't cook
minutes."
pasta, a kid can cook pasta.
No, but the thing is, the kids always screw up, and there never is like they're too
Accountability?
soft gloves on the kids. But again, because you can't be a dick to a kid, like and they're gonna
yeah.
cry anyways. So you tell them you're eliminated, they're gonna cry, and you're like,
Right.
You might as well go for the glory and tell the kid he's ashamed.
Yeah, but they're also doing their best. They're not arrogant or cocky for the most
but
part.
not all the people
there's
on-
some that are.
I said for
cocky.
the most part.
Okay,
But there's some
true.
people that on Top Chef that aren't super cocky. That people they like go out there and like overly destroy them as well.
What if there was like a beer games reality TV show?
Oh man.
Like each
Can I
week,
sign us up?
each week it would be like you'd have to challenge someone, or there'd be like a
Would it be
What
like
about
brewers?
a 10-week
no beer
Olympics.
drinkers, not
Drinkers, okay.
not
10
beer
episode
makers.
Beer Olympics, and it's 10 teams of 10, and you have 5 different teams.
10
Or
teams of 10.
10 teams of 4 people,
Okay, that
and
makes a
you
little more
have
sense.
10 teams of 4, and then every week it's one event, and it's one team versus 2, so it's 5 competitions, and then you get to like week 6, and then it's they break into break rounds, and then you have your gold and silver, and it's a different round.
What would you do? Play
What
beer
would
pong?
you do? You have the canoe relay, you have the volume chug, the time chug, the obstacle course, beer pong.
Did you graduate from
Coins?
Central?
Yes, I did. You have flip cup, you have the inverted, and then you have. I mean, there's plenty of things. I was involved in the Beer Olympics, and I can
Which
gladly.
country were you?
I was North Campus,
Oh, you did campus. not
and
countries.
I won the silver. My team won the silver. I carried them to
You know what second place is?
the first loser.
First
first
loser.
loser.
You ain't first, you're last.
You ain't first, you're last.
I think I learned that from a Road Rules.
I love road rules.
Hold on. So okay, I'm gonna put the question that we just put on its head.
You want a Road Rules Radler?
I want a real world.
Real world
If you could make a beer out of a movie, what would you make it?
A beer out of a movie?
Bad News Bears.
Bad News Beers?
Bad News Bears
Bad
brown.
News Beers brown.
A Bad News Bears brown.
No, it'd have to be a yellow or a blonde because their colors were yellow.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
Yellow.
I-
yeah, you're
I-
right.
I
Bad
probably
News Bears
get other.
blonde. There we go.
and I'm not talking about the remake with Billy Bob Thornton. I'm talking about the OG.
The Kelly Kelly, right?
Yeah.
With
you know what's up.
Walter Matthau.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Good. I'm glad people know what the
I
fuck
would
that
get like
is.
a big short stout.
Chico's bail bond.
Yeah. Right.
What's that?
Big short stout or the waiting pale ale.
The Big Short. Oh, The Big Short.
yeah.
That's a good movie.
Oh, that's yeah.
a great
I like that. Yeah.
what about Remember the Titans? What would you do?
No, they were high school kids. You can't put alcohol in that movie.
Yeah, but it's
You
okay.
can base a beer.
Baseball
hold
with
on,
freaking
hold on.
Bad
I'm gonna-
News
I'm
Bears
gonna-
and a bunch
Bears
of
is like
elementary
middle
school
school.
But
kids.
it's a dude who's drinking beer at the baseball
Yeah,
field. That
that's
makes
right.
sense.
Watermaker,
Denzel
whatever his
Washington
name was.
was Denzel Washington was the most
Buttermaker,
pious guy in
yeah.
the world. It could be like a training day beer with Denzel if you want to.
Training day beer.
All right, you ready? You ready? The Django Doppelbock.
The Django.
Not a Django and Jane.
That's a mango unchained.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying.
No, I mean Django. There's beer drinking in that.
the Scarface
Sangria.
sangria.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
But they drink a lot of like liquor on that.
Sour, yeah. I think sour would
The
fit
Scarface sour.
Yeah.
Say hello to my little sour.
Say hello. Okay, no, I'll leave it to Al Pacino.
I'm gonna have to volume that one
no,
down.
Fucking no rules, dude.
You guys would know how loud you are if you had headphones on.
Yeah, you
'Cause
took yours off.
I
I
know
took
how
mine
loud
off.
You
you
got too
are.
hot. You got the sweater on.
Dinner time's calling.
Is your wife gonna shave you, or are you gonna shave yourself? 'Cause-
Shut the fuck up.
I mean, it is a fair question.
Yeah, come on.
Goodfellas.
What about the Grinch?
The Grinch.
The Grinch Green Ale.
There was no drinking in the Grinch.
The green
If you're
Christmas
gonna
ale.
play the card for Remember the Titans, you gotta look at the Grinch as a children's.
You tell me
movie.
what the Grinch is doing up in the.
Smoking weed.
Really, you think?
Yeah.
I think it'd be
Smoking
drinking.
dope.
He's got that pot belly, that beer belly.
I mean, the
though.
Grinch does
does.
sound like a marijuana strain.
Yeah.
It probably is.
Yo,
He's
man,
green
I got-
already,
I
so-
got this death weed.
That's why it's a green ale,
Oh, okay.
like a leprechaun,
you
like a
put
St. Patrick's Day
leprechaun.
beer.
You putting green in it, like St. Patrick's Day in
Yeah.
Chicago.
What
Yeah,
about- all right, here. How about a real Detroit movie, RoboCop?
a steel PA,
A steel PA,
a chrome IPA.
chrome IPA. Okay, all right. I think his skin was made out of titanium.
I never saw the movie.
Oh, that's like
I'd rather have an Axel
I
Foley
l-
beer.
Axel. Ooh, a Beverly Hills.
902 OPA.
902. 902.
I mean, I'm just gonna go with Happy Gilmore, Hefeweizen
I like it.
Ooh,
for alliteration.
all right.
A happy.
it.
My favorite part. One of my favorite part of the movies is where it's like, Lafferty Daniel and Gilmore happy.
Mr. Gilmore, I'm your caddy.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh no, I'll just leave those there. I'll take them. What do you want me to do? Just,
Or
stand
you're
there.
about to pull you're about to pull landscaping duty double IPA because it's all hoppy.
What
And
was the guy's name who had the fake hand?
Chubbs McGee?
Chubbs Peterson.
Chubbs Peterson.
Chubbs Peterson.
I think McGee's just the go.
McGee.
Chubbs Peterson Pilsner.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm in for that.
Okay. All right.
The Shooter McGavin Poo Stout.
What stout?
The shit stout. I eat pieces.
Oh,
of
you said poo stout. I was just making sure you said poo stout.
No.
The ninth hole. Midnight
All right, well,
stout.
since we're on the
I
Adam
mean,
Sandler.
since we're on the
yeah,
golf kick,
Oh.
Caddyshack, the Beaver Brown, but that's the Wisconsin brewing. Never
Yeah.
mind.
That already
It's a groundhog, not a beaver.
Is it a groundhog?
Yeah.
the groundhog
I'm
goes.
all right.
The groundhog goza. No, I don't know if a goza would fit there though.
would fit the ground.
I don't know. So I was at a bar in Columbus a couple weeks ago, and on the TVs, these are the choices that you could watch. It was Overwatch, the video game.
Oh, the Overwatch League.
Yep.
Yeah. oh,
It was U.S. Open. It was Serena Williams playing. It was Thursday Night Football, Week 1. That great game between Chicago and Green Bay.
Yeah.
I think the score was
10-7.
2-4.
10-3, I think.
And
Yeah.
Tin Cup.
And you picked Serena Williams, didn't you?
I was watching Tin Cup.
The Kevin Costner.
Didn't he hit the ball with a
Wasn't that
shovel? in that
animated
movie?
too?
He hit it with was it with a
And
shovel
a
or was it
baseball,
with a
bat, and he played pool with the ball at one point.
The
Yeah,
Kevin Costner. What's a style that begins with a C?
No, Escape from L.A. West Coast
Escape from-
IPA.
I see what you did there, and I appreciate that.
The Snake Plissken.
Snake Plissken. That's a Metal Gear Solid reference.
No, it's Escape from L.A. or Escape from New York.
Oh well, they used. Never mind. I'll tell you later.
I was trying to bring up who was in the movie Tin Cup, and you got
Rene
Cheech
Russo?
Marin and Rene Russo. Yep,
Cheech
along
Marin.
with Kevin Costner. It's only got a 6.3 on IMDb. It's
The
a
Rene
great
Russo
movie.
rap.
This movie is always on the Golf Channel.
What else are they gonna do?
Golf?
Golf.
This
Tips?
is like their.
They
off
only
season.
golf Thursday to Sunday.
That's a lot of golf to.
Yeah, but then you
Replay.
got all the other smaller tournaments that are on through the week.
LPGA. You can throw on there too.
The Web Open.
The Web Open,
Longest
the
drive
European
contests.
Tour,
That was
longest
on
drive.
earlier
Did
in
you
the
guys
day.
ever watch that one? It was like a show's like Speed Golf, where they would they would have only a certain amount of clubs in there, and it was like a pickup. It was a quick pickup, and they would like hit off the tee, and then they would run. There was no carts.
What?
They would run to the wherever it landed.
Speed golf is a variant of golf which scores both on
shit.
strokes played and the time taken to
You
complete
thought I was
the
making it
round.
up?
I've never
I'm
heard of
dead
that.
serious. It was like a little show they did on the Golf Channel.
Dude, I saw Mario Maker.
Hold on, world champions.
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, it's a thing. And it's both how many strokes. and
Well,
then-
this only happened for 2 years.
right.
Guinness World Record. The lowest score in a competition was shot by Mitch Williamson of Orange in New South Wales. Shot a score of 77 in 31 minutes.
Holy shit!
giving
on
him a
18?
speed golf score of 108.
in 18 minutes or 18 holes.
Yep.
Damn, that's only 5 over.
So you got to be athletically fit to run between
speed running golf,
and then you got to be good.
Well, you're
to
running
hit it.
like 7 miles. It's like
Right.
5,000 yards.
Right, you got to run around
Oh,
all
hold
the.
on.
You
It's
also
only
got to
half
hit the.
mile,
You
I
also got to
suppose.
hit it too. You know.
You got to like slow your heart rate down to and then
Right,
hit it,
and
yeah.
then hit it. Right. It's. I mean, 2 seasons, sure, or 2 whatevers. But
The Guinness World Record was shot in Chicago by a professional Christopher Smith, who shot a 65 in 44 minutes.
Holy fuck!
Wow.
Well, that's still. I mean, if you add the time to the stroke, that's what 109.
Is that taking the hot dog at the turn?
And the speed pool like you do in marathoning.
Right.
Wow,
Damn.
that's pretty fucking.
I
good.
watched the Mario Maker.
It was a little over a 3-mile course. The Mario Maker.
Have you seen that?
Which
Yeah.
one?
The Mario Maker tournament.
Yep. They've been doing like a league for Mario Maker
I
too.
saw it on like flipping between channels between the football games last week, and I saw this like a Mario that I've never even conceived of, like ropes courses and all
Yep,
of this
so-
shit. I was just like blown away.
Yeah, Mario Maker allows you to make a Mario game based on any like Super Mario 1, 3, New Super Mario World, and there's a few other games that you can build a level based off.
Yeah, so I mean, there's these two guys that are going head to head.
Yeah, they got 15 minutes to clear as many courses randomly as they can.
Well, no, and this one was they just had to clear. It was literally single elimination, and then the first one to finish that.
Okay,
one
I
level.
remember that one too.
It took them 5 minutes to clear this level, and it would probably take anybody an hour. And they, kept dying. And they had
Guys,
infinite life.
It's Saturday.
Oh, God.
That means we're done with the show. Don't forget to check out our sponsors, North Center Brewing over in Northville, Michigan, Tuna Liquor over in Rochester Hills.
You didn't bring any liquor today. Thank
You didn't give away a gift card.
We're doing that in 2 weeks with
That's
the MI Beer
right,
Box.
that's right.
Thanks a lot, Ed. His name's Ed, by the way, Matt.
Oh, Abby.
Speaking of that, yeah, we're giving away a Michigan Beer Box in 2 weeks on the show. Compliments of Michigan Beer Box, mibeerbox.com. Go to t-shirts.beer, one of our sponsors, as well as the Ferndale set.
And Zatuna Liquor.
I said it's Tuna Liquor. Yeah, that's why you have 2 ears
It's
to
past
listen
Matt's
with.
bedtime. Yeah.
Even though it is way past Matt's bedtime, no matter what he thinks of his beer, especially that Oktoberfest from Rochester Mills, we think
Mills.
it's better on draft. Have a good night.
What do you do with that, Perrin?